So this is my all-in-one fish tank monitoring system. It manages obviously the heating as well as the feeding and the water filtration system. So if we start up the simulation real quick, we can see that it asks us to set the time. What I've done is using this potentiometer, I've set up a 24-hour clock, so it goes from 0 to 23. So let's set the current time to say 11 o'clock, and we can set the minute to say 30. So it's 11:30 right now. Okay. So now we can set when to feed the fish. I'm actually going to set the time to 11:31 just for simplicity later. There we go. And that's when it's going to run through its fish cycle. So now we're asking for a temperature, and like most fish tanks, it runs off Fahrenheit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set it to, we want to keep it at 81 degrees Fahrenheit, like so. So now we've got a clock running at all times. And the first thing I want to demonstrate is the heater. What if I lower the temperature? It marks that it's heating and the heater turns on until it gets back. Now, if we wait for the clock up here to get to a minute, it will become 11:31. So I'm going to pause the recording till then. So now once it reaches the time, the feeding function happens. So it turns off the pump, turns on the feeder, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to leave the pump off for the next 20 minutes so that the food doesn't get through the fish tank filtration system. That way the fish have time to eat. Now during this time, the temperature sensor is still working, like so, and I've marked it so that it lets you know that it's both feeding and heating. Again, now it's just regular feeding and the heater turns off. One more thing is the fish tank light. Now this one is purely mechanical in the sense that it doesn't have any software controlling it. So what we do here is we have a three-way switch, and I can switch on the light, switch off the light. I did that backwards. Yeah, otherwise, I've set up a function so that if it's in the middle of the heating process, waiting for it to reach a certain temperature, and it's time to start feeding the fish, it will be able to exit the heating subroutine, and it can start up the heater once it's in this idle state. Another thing I want to show is, and I have to restart the program for this, if I set everything to 0, minute 0, and I'm just going to mark that to a higher number so that doesn't get in the way. Awesome. Ideal temp, doesn't really matter. I've set it so that it will still maintain the 0000 format. That way it's not shifted over to the left or the minutes off or whatnot.